Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be kind of cleaning some things up, and I have some rack rails. So we're going to put these servers on rails. On top of all of that, let's do a rack tour to check out the current state of the data center rack. I realize it's not professional or a good idea to leave the servers just resting on top of each other, so I purchased 2 sets of 1U rails and 1 set of 2U rails. For this video, we're just going to be putting the rails on these servers, and we're not turning them off because I have customers using the equipment now. Okay, so you'll see these rails are labeled. This one says left front, and this one should say back right. Right front. So that's where you want the front of them to go, so that it will sit in the rack kind of like this. And they will be kind of held on to the rack like that. The hardest part for this is going to be doing this with the server still here. So it may be the case of having somebody hold the server, and then we'll put the rails up behind it and then rest it on the rails and reel it in. So we'll see how this goes, but I was able to do the other servers just fine, so I hope I can do these as well. And that leads me to my next thing. If you are interested in any of the cloud services I offer, please check out my website down below. I have a whole listing of everything that I offer, pricing and all that kind of stuff. I'm working really hard on a lot of this stuff. I'm launching a portal soon, so you guys can log in and manage your own services through the portal, which will be really cool. Thank you to the people who have volunteered to beta test it. Really grateful for you guys. That was great. Okay guys, so we have now racked this server with the rails. It's correct now. It's all looking good. It was a little difficult to do that one, so I can't imagine how difficult it's gonna be for this one. Considering this has about 9 hard drives in the front, so it'll be pretty heavy. So back here, it's just powered through 1 power cord. I unplugged the iDRAC for now. That server, like I said, is good, so it's just a matter of doing this one. So what we did was I had somebody clip the rails in on the back, and then I clipped them in on the front. You should not have the servers in the rack until you have the rails ready, for this very reason, because it is quite difficult to get these in after the fact. It's not recommended because it's really hard to get them to lock into the rails, especially for a server of this weight. Okay, so we are now done with this. You'll see this is racked, and it's all in the rack nicely. So is the server above it. I'm going around the front here. You guys will see that it is racked nicely as well. I think I do need to push this back a little farther. Although this one is not latched in nicely, so I'm gonna need to pull the server out again and fix that most likely. But overall, it is on there, so it's the easy part's done. Now it's just a matter of fixing that little small detail. Okay, so at this point, pretty much everything is done and it's working well the way that I want it to. And now I think it's time for kind of a tour of the whole rack. We've talked a lot in the past about every item individually, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of how it all works together. And that will kind of wrap up our series for now. So let's start at the bottom here. These are 3 UPS units. These are big batteries that essentially back up the power to the rack. We have a single breaker that's feeding the whole rack right there, going to a power strip, which you guys can probably see right there. That splits it off into power for these 3 units. This unit on the left powers all of the networking, so it powers the Dream Machine, the switch, and the aggregation switch, basically anything on the PDU. Then we have this UPS right there, which is actually powering the secondary power for the mikrotik Cloud Core router. And then it's also providing primary power for this server and this server right here. But it's also providing secondary power to this server and that server. So they're actually alternating. So that means this UPS right here is providing primary power to this server and this server at the bottom, and then it's providing backup power to this server and this server. So they're actually split up. So essentially each server is backed by 2 UPSs at all times, which makes it really easy for me to do any maintenance. If I ever got another circuit down here, I could move half of them to a new circuit, etc. Or if I want to back one by a generator, I could easily do that and have a separate generator circuit for the rack, which would be really cool. That will be for the future though. So as it sits now, everything is UPS backed. I've done power testing to ensure that it all runs on battery power, and it's pretty rock solid. So now that we have power covered, we'll go back up to the top. This is the Power Distribution Pro from Ubiquiti. It's about $279. We have a couple power connections coming out of this thing, a few USB-C ports right here, which I'm gonna eventually use for some Raspberry Pis most likely. Next, we have a Keystone patch panel that I took out of my office. And this is just providing easy patching into the camera that we have here. This connection is actually for the connection from the ONT, which we'll get to in a minute. And then we have our 4 fiber connections. So we have a half of a fiber, or I guess a single fiber, going to our fiber ONT. We have a bidirectional fiber right there, and then we got the 3 different other fibers. We have a single mode and 2 multi-mode fibers over there that just go to different places here in the house. Next, we have the Ubiquiti aggregation switch, which I've had this thing for so long now, but I love it, and it's got 10 gig SFP plus ports on all 8 ports, which means it's super high speed, and it connects everything very nicely. It's very solid. I wish it had multiple power options, but unfortunately for this price point, you're not going to get that. Next, we have our fiber providers ONT. That's how we connect to the internet. So like I said, it's coming through the single fiber here, getting power from the Power Distribution Pro. Next, we have our mikrotik Cloud Core router. This is new. It was about $500, and that is what is basically splitting up our internet connection. So we've got our internet connection coming in here, outputting to a couple different routers. It's doing some queuing and rate limiting to ensure that certain devices are getting certain speeds. I can guarantee bandwidth to certain devices or that kind of thing. Next, we have our UDM Pro from Ubiquiti. It's the router for the house. It's doing everything that is not data center related. And it's also doing some IPv4 outbound traffic for the data center traffic, I guess. So it's doing some, but pretty much it's only focused on the house stuff. Next, we have a Unify switch. It's a 24 PoE switch, a Gen 2. And this is just a switch, basically a dumb switch. Not really, I'm using VLANs on it, but it's mostly functioning as a dumb switch for the rack, and connecting iDRAC and connecting the cameras, all that kind of stuff to this rack specifically. This is just connected through Ethernet to the UDM Pro. So I eventually do want to connect that through fiber, but I really don't care right now. What I may do in the future is do a bidirectional going on the opposite fiber from the fiber ONT, and I might patch that into the main rack. That way the switches can have a dedicated link between them. I think that'll conserve some bandwidth, but I'm not entirely sure. Next, we have our server right here. This server is actually focused on doing the virtualization for the cloud services. So if you guys have a VM, that's actually all running off of this server for now. I'm gonna cluster these and do some fancy stuff, but for now, it's just running on that one server. Next down is another server. That server's mostly focused on virtualization for the house, just doing some generic services like DNS, VPNs, etc., all running on this one. That one's mostly doing outbound traffic through the UDM Pro. It's also doing some fancy stuff on there that's routing actually some traffic through OpenSense that's virtualized on that device as well, so that's really cool. Moving down, we have 2 large file servers. These things is the reason that our power bill is so high. This one right here is the server Gopher 6. So essentially this one is just doing a bunch of generic file storage for everything else. It's doing backups for all my co-located stuff and backups for my other files. Next, we have the TrueNAS server, which is essentially the backbone to the S3 storage. So the S3 storage is kind of routed kind of amongst these two. Long story about that, but that's doing a lot of the bulk storage for the S3 customers. So if you have S3 storage for me, that's all on that server there. It is going to be backed up. It is not at the moment. It'll be backed up soon to some off-site locations. So yeah, that is pretty much the rack. It is come together. It's taken quite a long time. I've had to come home a few times from school already just to work on this, but overall I'm pretty pleased with where we're at. So there's a lot of room for future expansion. I got some exciting news recently about doing some fancy stuff at the data center with the ISP. So theoretically in the future, I may be able to have a VLAN from here to the data center, which is going to be a game changer. It'll let me do all kinds of fancy redundancies. I can put all kinds of redundancies in place to where I can migrate VMs and have like replicated VMs automatically spin up on the opposite site in the event of a power outage here. Like super cool stuff. Or I can just use this site as a disaster recovery site and have everything at the data center, whatever I want to do. It's gonna be a great spot for me to learn and grow and expand. So really excited about that, and I don't have to pay for power there, which is also big. So really exciting stuff. If you guys have any questions or you want to see anything else in the rack, let me know. But hopefully there'll be some smaller videos coming up, but this is the bulk of the rack and the bulk of this series that I'm wrapping up now on the data center series. So if you guys enjoyed the series, let me know. It was a really exciting one to make. It seems to be doing really well in terms of YouTube. The stats are showing pretty well so far. As of today, the part 3 is posted, so you guys got to check all the other parts out if you haven't seen them. But that is about it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching the series. like and subscribe. A lot of exciting stuff coming soon. I'm gonna make a lot more back-end videos on the data center stuff and how I'm able to offer it so cheaply and do all the redundancies and all that kind of stuff. It'll be really cool. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video.